truth, and life. Here is the Brother Leon Show. You better recognize.
What's going on, listeners? This is your boy, Brother Leon, and you are tuning into another episode of the Brother Leon Show. Today, guys, we are going to go in here because God has given us the remedy to turn back the hands of time and also redeem the time. Let's go. The one thing that I want you guys to understand and know is if you have been following me with all of my interviews and everything, I have been interviewing bodybuilders and people in the fitness industry. And the one thing that has been consistent is that bodybuilding and strength training can turn back the hands of time. And so I have the privilege of having Miss Cassandra Floyd on the show today. And as you want to know, man, like last time we had Miss Tiller, and I couldn't believe the age that she was. And so today we have Miss Floyd, and I'm not going to lie, man, I cannot believe that she is over 50. She is tearing up the game. I'm telling you, these older women, these fine wine women, I'm telling you, young girls, y'all better watch out because they are tearing up the game. Young dudes, if you trying to holler at women like this, you better be on that level. I'm telling you right now. Because the one thing that I'm starting to see is that age ain't nothing but a number. Depending on the type of lifestyle that you live, the lifestyle that you lead, the lifestyle that you adhere to. So I want you guys to listen to this interview, take notes, but also go to Instagram and see Miss Floyd's pictures, and you will see what I'm talking about. She's been in this piece, been in this game for a long time. And I'm going to tell you, man, she ain't stopping. And I had the privilege of interviewing her, and I'm not going to lie, man, I can't wait to talk to her again. I would love to get her and Miss Tiller together. I'm serious. I'm going to work on that. But you guys be blessed. Listen to this interview because I'm telling you, man, she is straight up pure fire. All right. We got Miss Floyd. Okay. So I just wanted to start. I just want to say thank you for coming on the Brother Leon Show. And it's definitely a pleasure. So I just want to ask with the first question, who are you?
My name is Cassandra Floyd.
Okay. So how long, Miss Floyd, have you been in the game? Because you've been in the game for a minute.
I've been training for weight training since 1983, 84. My first competition was in 1988.
Okay.
And 89.
88, 89. Wow.
I'm still competing at 55
wow.
and a half.
Oh, my God. Let me ask you something. Do you know Miss Dorothy Tiller?
Excuse me?
You know Miss Dorothy Tiller?
Yes, I do know Dorothy. Yes. She's my brother. She came to my brother's studio to train. So, yes, I do know her. Yes, I know her well. She's a competitor. She's an amateur competitor. She's very, one of the top women masters. So, yes, I know her well.
Because I'm not going to lie, if you didn't say that you was 55, I wouldn't have believed you.
Yeah, she's around 56. She's got me by a few, 6 months or less or something like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, but I just want to say, Miss Floyd, you definitely killing the game. I see your pictures. I see your selfies. I'm like, man, these young girls ain't got nothing on Miss Floyd.
Well, I'm trying to stay ahead.
Okay. But like I say, I think the one thing that I will say is this, is that fitness is one of those things, it redeems the time. You know what I mean? It redeems the time on a person's body and everything. So, let me ask you this. Like, what made you get into bodybuilding?
Actually, what made me get into bodybuilding was I used to watch my dad in the basement.
Okay.
Lifting weights. Okay. I come from a very big family. There's actually 16 siblings. Okay. 9 boys, 7 girls. And I would always love sports and, used to watch my dad lifting when he was in his late 30s and 40s. I'll put it that way. Mm-hmm. And I just happened to, I snuck around with his weights. And that was just the start. But physically getting into a gym, I joined a gym after high school and just started going to train. And then I started training with these power lifters.
Okay.
And they're the ones that really like pushed me. They saw the physique because I used to track and tennis were my sport. And they go, because I was always like this little small lady, just muscular, like 100 pounds, but very muscular, lean as hell. Okay. Yeah. And so they go, Miss Cat, they call me Hot Legs. That was my nickname back in the 90s.
Wow.
They would say, you know what? We need to get you into a show with this type of genetics. We're going to get you in a show. And believe it or not, they're the one that really pushed me into it. I had 6 weeks to get ready for a show. And they gave me a diet plan to follow. I followed and I did train with them. They put me in the show. I won. I was a lightweight, 105 pounds.
Wow.
And they put me in the show. I won my class and I ended up winning the overall because it's like 4 divisions in the women's body. At that time, it was just bodybuilding. And I just didn't stop from then. I've just been competing.
Wow, that's
I
great.
never stopped.
That's great. Let me give you some applause. So let me ask you this. So was that like when you went into your pro card?
No, I actually did not turn pro. There's 2 organizations that I turned pro.
Okay.
I was with the WNBF, which is a drug-free organization where they test you, urine test, and then you get they're tested for different substance. Okay, I did that for 10 years. So first, I was with the NPC organization in the beginning of 90s. The NPC 89 to 92, I was doing NPC shows, and at that time, I realized that even back then, the women were, they were doing their substance, the supplements. And then I'm talking about multivitamins and stuff. So therefore, I'm like, you know what? Either I have a choice. I can go and because at that time, that's not what I wanted to do, to get into those type of supplements. So I end up, even though I was doing well, because I did a national show, a junior national show in the NPC. That's like one of the big top nationals that you can turn pro. But at the junior nationals, I came in 3rd as a lightweight. And at that time, the only way you could get a pro card, you had to win the overall. Women, all 4 divisions, but there was only one winner. Today it's different. They take the top 2 people and you can get a pro card. So I left that organization, went to the IFBB, the amateur turned pro right away, was there for 10 years. And then I went back. I had to write a letter to the National Physique Organization, which is the biggest organization for the amateurs under the IFBB. So I went, I had to write a letter stating I am coming back to the NPC and that I will not return to that organization. So I written that letter. That's what they required back then. Now it's not like that.
Okay.
And went back to the NPC. It took me 3 years to get their pro card because I was already a pro with the WNBF. I was a lightweight champion with their organization.
Okay.
So it took me 3 years to get my pro card. So I did not get an IFBB pro card until 2008.
Wow.
Okay. And and I was 42 and a half years old, by the way.
For real?
Yes, for real.
Oh my God.
At 42. So I'm a late bloomer. I just happen to be I'm blessed, you know.
Okay.
I'm very, very blessed. So so since 2008 till now, I've been with the IFBB as one of their pros.
Okay.
My career as a bodybuilder, I did that for 22 years, and then I switched to women's physique.
Okay.
This is like the level just under the women's bodybuilding, where they're not so muscular. Because same thing, the women in the bodybuilding, they was getting very huge. And I'm like, I do not want to put size on. I like being small, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And so therefore, I left the women's bodybuilding and went to women's physique. And I was there for 8 years in the women's physique. Okay. And then I just switched in 2021 to be the figure. These were the girls wore the high heel shoes as one of their pros.
Okay.
So physically, technically, this is my first year as a IFBB pro figure competitor.
Figure competitor.
This is my first. Yeah,
Okay.
and with the lady wear the high heel shoes, not bikini, but figure. We still can have the muscle, but yeah, we're not bikini girls.
Okay. Okay. Did that division just start? Because I've heard the wellness and so forth.
Well, wellness just started. Figure's been out. It's always been women's bikini.
Mm-hmm.
You have bodybuilding. You have figure. You have fitness. Fitness is the girls that do the gymnastics and all that.
Yeah.
And then you have the figure girls, are the ones that are under the bodybuilding women. Okay, the wellness just came about 3 years ago. These are the ones that's under bikini. So that's a new division. Wellness has been out like 3 years now. And then bikini are the regular bikini girls. So those are the divisions for the women division that we have.
Okay, so let me ask you this: how many times do you probably you go on stage, like in one show?
Oh my God! To do a show?
Yeah, how many times?
Are you thinking like when they call us out? There's at a show.
Yeah.
We get approximately anywhere from 3 to the individual routine is like a minute to 2, like 1 to 2 minutes, depends on how many people are in the group. Now, if there's a lot of girls in the group, like the first year I came out, there were 38 women. Okay? So we only had like 40, they only gave us 30 to 45 seconds to come out and pose.
Okay.
Then when they do comparisons, they call us out. You know, they may cut that 38 down to top 15, you know, and then that's how it starts. So if you don't make, you know, they're going to call everybody out. But basically, if you at the pro level can get in that top 15, it's great. Mm-hmm. So always starting out, that was my goal. So when I switched in my first show, I think I was like, I was 15, 16. That was as a figure competitor.
Okay.
And then, when my second show, I came in 13th. And then just recently, I did a Masters Pro show, and I came in second. So wow. The show that I'm doing now in July is going to be a figure open. See, they have Pro Masters, and this is open. I may have girls 20, 25 years younger than me. That's what we call the open. So I'm going to give it my best, and just, you know, I'm doing my best, and we'll just see what happens.
Okay. Well, let me give you some applause. I think you're going to get them. I believe that.
Yeah. Okay, I will be ready, though. Okay. I will be ready.
So let me ask you this, Miss Floyd. How many shows do you do like a year?
When I first started out in the late 80s, I was doing like maybe 4 to 5 shows. Mm-hmm. And that's a lot of traveling, because usually they don't have shows in your state. Well, they may have just a few. So I had to travel. And I traveled all over actually in the U.S., outside the U.S. to do competition. Okay. Mm-hmm. So now within the last 10 years, I've been down to 2 to 3 shows. You know, I'm near, because it's been 31, 32 years of competing. And, you know, now I'm to the point, Atlanta is just now offering shows like pro shows here within the last 2 years. Yeah. The state of Georgia. So now I stopped doing all that traveling and just focusing, just doing the pro shows here in Atlanta.
Okay, because I hear a lot of people they're, in Florida, Baltimore, Pittsburgh.
100. See, there's shows all year round.
Yeah.
The amateur divisions and the pro divisions, there's shows inside the U.S., outside the U.S., and those are our options. Okay, so it's like all year round, a competitor can go to a show. Don't matter where you are in the world. There are shows going on.
Okay. All right, cool. Let me give you some applause for that because, I was just thinking it's a whole lot of people doing shows and everything.
Yes.
It's like guys who own gyms, they're putting together shows. So it's very marketable. It's very marketable.
Yeah. And that's where, to be honest with you, if you are a promoter, that's where the money is because the athletes certainly do not make money. So you don't want to quit your day job. Put it that way.
Okay.
I'm just being, I keep it real here.
Yeah. Because somebody told me, they was like, yo, man, bodybuilding ain't cheap.
No, and it's an expensive sport. I mean, my competition suit can cost $400 to $500 and up.
Wow.
So, and that's, you're going to be on stage for like 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. And this is what women have to spend, it depends. So with me, over the years, I would say the last 10, 15 years, I just either reuse my suits or buy a used one, have it cleaned up. I know how to clean them. Yeah. Or buy a suit and add stones. And, so it's very expensive, put it that way. It's an expensive sport.
Okay, like, let me ask you this. What about, like, certain therapies? Because I know bodybuilders are into cupping therapy, all types of therapies and
I
like
do
that.
The cupping.
Yeah.
I've done cupping. I get massages.
Okay.
I do cryo surgery. Cryo machine. I get in the cryo machine.
Mm-hmm.
And, that is like part of maintenance. Like you go get your oil change.
Yeah.
We have to take care of our bodies just the same. You got to do that maintenance because you're tearing down the muscle. So, yes, that's just as important. And I have a chiropractor. So I stay up on a chiropractor as well.
Yeah. Okay, let me ask you this. What about the IV therapy? I know that's recently new.
I have not, that I have not done. Okay. I mean, I don't think, I'll put it this way. If I lived out in Denver, where, the elevation is very high, a lot of athletes, or California, a lot of athletes do a lot of that IV therapy. I don't do that because I'm pretty much very, very healthy, I take in a lot of vitamins and minerals just to make sure that my body is functioning properly, and I do a lot of preventive maintenance for my liver, kidneys. I always, I take supplements like detoxing. And I'll tell you, a lot of times, a lot of athletes may not, but I do a lot of colonics, just to let you know.
Okay.
After training for a show, the colonics to me is the best thing, to do to help cleanse your intestines, your colon. So I do this place called Internal Pure Wellness, Holistic Wellness place is where I go. And that's just as good, and that's important for the inside. That's just as important.
Miss Floyd, may I ask, are you a vegan?
No, I don't believe in that. To be honest with you, I know to me it's a fad. Some people, I don't knock whoever's vegan. Vegan to me gives those athletes to eat a bunch of carbs. Now, with me personally, carb sensitive. Okay, so a lot of vegans, they don't. First off, may not. If you're an athlete, they may know right amount of protein. Okay, yeah. But regular people, being a vegan, they're not taking in enough protein, and women especially don't realize that they can get bone loss because vegan, you get a lot. You're taking in a lot of carbs, the beans. Mm-hmm. You eat a lot of beans. A lot of people don't eat a fish. A lot of them don't, or plant. Some of them eat the plant burgers, if that, but most of them eat a lot, just taking a lot of carbs and stuff like that. But no, I'm not a vegan person. I fix my own food.
Okay.
I fix my own food.
Okay. So let me ask you this. What is prep time when you're prepping for a show? What is that like?
My meal prep, 90% of my, the protein is coming from fish because fish digests very quickly. and I'm a big salmon, cod, tilapia. I just go to the market and farmers market, buy in bulk or Costco, and I meal prep on Sunday and Wednesday night for the week. And I just cook a big old pot of either I may do asparagus, I may do collard and kale, something, just make a big pot of something as my carb. And then I love like Korean sweet potatoes.
Wow.
That's another one. Okay. And I this is what I all fix. And then brown rice. I fix, a big old pot of rice. And all I do is put everything in containers, put it in the fridge. And when I'm ready to eat, either to go work out, I'll take my food with me when I'm training in the studio, when I'm training my clients. I just take up the containers with me, warm it up, and just keep moving throughout the day. But I meal prep.
Okay.
All of my food.
Cool. Let me give you some applause. So let me ask you this. When did you start training individuals? When did you get on the whole training side?
Well, I started when New York is home. I was there for, even though I was born in North Carolina, but I went to New York at age 19 and didn't come, and I stayed for almost 30 years. So I'm here in Atlanta since almost 2013 up till now. And my brother owns a place called New Body Training. Him and his wife she runs the boot camp, and he's like a personal training. And, he goes, Cass, I can use you. But before then, I was a federal government contractor for 25 years.
Wow.
And I've always loved, my passion has always been health and fitness. Even when I was a contractor, I still was competing. That was my outlet to get rid of, my stress. And I was doing pretty well still. So I started working with him and still with him till now.
Okay.
And I do one-on-one with everybody, and now he does one-on-one and run the boot camp. So that's ever since I moved down here, I started training, people full-time. That's when I started, when I moved here. Now, up in New York, I was just like on the weekend, I was able on Saturday and Sunday get a client here and there who wanted to train, but full-time when I moved here.
That's great. That's great. That's definitely great. So I was wanted to know what's the whole thing with body sculpting? What is that?
Body sculpting. Okay, say for instance you are my client and you come to me, and you said I want to get my shoulders, to look a certain way, or my back to be a certain way, my legs. So my focus when I'm training you is going to be focusing on those areas specifically. Even though we still going to train the whole body. But when I'm doing body sculpting, I'm going to focus more on those areas that you told me. I want to look my shoulders to look like a certain way. So I'm going to help develop that body part to try to get it to look like you want. So that's what you're isolating a particular body part that you're trying to get to look a certain way. That's what body sculpting is. That's for men and women. Okay. Most girls, when they come to me, like bikini girls, so they want to body stuff like their butt. Bikinis is important and wellness. They got to have a butt. Regardless of their race, sisters, some of them are blessed with butts, but some are blessed with too much ass. So excuse me.
No, that's all right. That's fine. No, trust.
Yeah, so, but the thing is this.
Yeah.
There's two types. If you're just a regular person coming to me to work out, like my regular clients, they're not non-athletes, I'm going to get too tight. Because they always say, oh, I want you to hit my butt, and, to make it look, high up, instead of getting them implants in your behind.
Yeah.
So,
I want to talk about that too.
Okay. So I focus on, trying to lift the butt and making it round.
Okay.
So that's also would be body sculpturing as well.
Okay. But let me ask you this. Have you seen girls with the Brazilian butt lifts, trying to, make it look like it's not a Brazilian butt lift, but now they're in the gym?
Well, I see a lot of that, but, and then there's some in my arena, there are some of the bikini girls, or the wellness girls. Some of them may have. They have done it. Okay. They have done the implant. I've seen it. And but regular girls in the gym, let me tell you something. When your legs are looking a certain way and you got all that back there, it does not look good. No, okay? Now, when your legs are, sometimes these girls with these two-pick legs, and then they go get this huge implant, it doesn't look good. And I'll tell you why. That's because the men tell you they look good. Yeah. The men says it look good. Okay, let's just be real about it. Yeah. But aesthetically, you can tell, are you really working out or are you not working out? Yeah. Okay, that's the difference. If you're going to have those implants, you need to work on your legs. If you're going to get butt implants, make sure your legs going to match. Yeah. To make it look, because it looks weird. Okay? Yeah, it does. It looks very... But most of the put it this way, most of the athletes in the industries, if they have the implant, it's very well proportioned. Put it that way. And okay, I would say athletes very well proportioned.
Yeah, I think
it's not that. No, I'm saying it's just not that noticeable. You can I judge shows as well, the amateur level, and I can tell, but at least it's aesthetically pleasing. Okay. So, but I can tell this woman has an implant there. Yeah.
I would think that, that would be something that would disqualify a person. Does that disqualify a person?
No. It's just like having boobs. Okay. I mean, I got boobs. I got implants. Okay. Okay? So you can't tell a woman you can't go out and do this and that. Mm-hmm. You really, we can't do that. Okay. So butt implants is no different than the women having boob jobs. Okay. Okay? And, believe it or not, there are men who go out, they go get ab implants. There are some that go get their chest done. Oh, yes, they do. They have their chest done, and they do calf implants. Okay. Okay? I did hear that. So men do their stuff too now. Okay? Okay. It's not just the women. The men do their implants too.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this, because here lately I've been, on social media, and it's like a lot of male bodybuilders are just passing away, and I'm like, what's going on?
I just read this article recently. Within the last two years, there have been over 35 bodybuilders, male and female, total, that have passed away within the last couple of years. And some of the older guys, some of it came with age, okay? The guys are in their 60s, 70s, and I think they had a couple 80, but that's understandable, okay? They had some, but most of the time, I have to tell you, the athletes have heart conditions, okay? Or they may have diabetes, okay? And a lot of times they do not get their checkup. Okay. And they start piling on different supplements. Yeah. When you have these type of conditions, when you start throwing supplements on top of it, you're bound to have some kind of issue. Yeah. So some of it, like recently, two people I was very, close with that passed within the last 6 to 8 months. One of the pros, his name was Greg Peterson. He was 37 years old, top Olympian, and he passed away of a heart attack at 37. Okay? Then we have Rhoden, another Mr. Olympian. Okay? He's one of the open body Mr. Olympian, 2018 competitor. Less than 4 months now, he passed away at 44 years old. So, and I got to believe a lot of times these guys already have heart conditions or they already been diagnosed with something going on and they just don't stay on top of it. Yeah. They just don't stay on top of what's going on. And that's male and female. Okay. And I got to believe that's some issues.
Yeah, thank you.
And you must. Yeah, that's one thing I've been doing since I've been in the sport. I've never missed my yearly physical. I go get my blood work done. I don't play with my health. That's one thing, and I have to say that's what has helped me. throughout my career. I stay on top of my health, and it's very, very important that athletes stay on top of their health. They just think by doing shows, walking around, doing shows, they healthy on the outside, but the inside is bad.
Okay.
And they just leave it unchecked.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Let me give you some applause. Ms. Floyd, how were you able to navigate through COVID?
You know, COVID was very bad. I am lucky that my brother has his studio because they shut down gyms, but we were able to continue. I would go there. I have the keys. I would go there and get my workout in. That's how I never missed my workout. Okay. So I was able to keep training. And unfortunately, beginning of 2021, I did get COVID and it took a toll on my body. I lost about 8 to 10 pounds, couldn't eat. So, I had residuals of brain fog, and it's still to this day, I'm still get off and on, long haul stuff from it. And, but I just worked through it. And so and by catching COVID, that was what made me switch my division because I lost muscle.
Okay.
So my decision was I can stay here and feel sorry for myself because I lost the size, within the division. I was, the women's physique, or I can make a move to go to another division. And that's what forced me. And I have to tell you, it was the best decision I ever made. Because now it's a thing of me just coming down as opposed to trying to keep muscle on, So now, it's much less work on my body right now to be in this division.
Okay. I like that. Thank you. So let me ask you this. How do you set up your stage presence? I mean, from tanning to hair to makeup to shoes. How do you choose all of that, and how does it come together? How do you make Miss Floyd pop on stage?
Well, I hire a makeup artist.
Okay.
Hair, hair. Usually, I'm wearing a wig or weave. Okay, I already have that set up. My posing suit. I figured all this is done. I would say about 3 months as far as my suit, because I need to give the person, at least if I'm going to have it custom made. They need at least, 8 to 10 weeks to do it. Or if I see, if I can buy a used one, I just go online like 2 months ahead of time, find a suit, have it cleaned up, and go to my alterations lady to have it adjusted. That's what I usually do.
Okay.
If I buy it used, I'll buy a suit and then have it altered, cleaned and altered to wear.
Okay.
But by showtime, really, that's less thing I'm worrying about.
Okay.
Because those last 10 days, I don't need to be worrying about hair, makeup, suit, shoes. I am a person that plans well ahead of time. If I'm going out of town, like if my show is out of town, I start packing my suitcase 10 days ahead of time. Just start putting stuff in, And usually like a local show, if I chose not to stay in a hotel, I just start packing, like the show is on a Saturday, a Friday, Saturday. I'll start packing up everything on a Wednesday, start putting it in a suitcase just so I remember everything. And then, by the weekend, I have all my bags packed. And all I'm doing is just putting it in the car and going to the venue.
Okay.
So I plan that. Okay. I don't believe in doing everything impromptu. I've never done that.
Okay. I like that. So let me ask you this. Like when you get on stage, are you like, you know what? I'm going to own this stage. I'm going to own it. I'm going to own all these girls.
Well, that's what all the girls say. I'm going to tell you, really, all the women, that's their thing. And, you get up there, and believe it or not, after 30-some years of competing, you still get nervous. Okay. I still get nervous, but it's a good nervous, okay?
Yeah.
And when I step out there, I just let everything go. I mean, I say it's showtime. You want to show your best because you only have a minute to 2 minutes to show your best.
Yeah.
So that's when you come out there. Yeah, you got to own the stage. You must own the stage when you come out because the judges that impression, okay, is very, very important. Your first, when you walk out there, because they already start putting numbers down of the girls who they want to come out.
Yeah.
You know, so it's very, very important. You own that stage when you step on the stage. From the time you come to that curtain and you walk in front of them, you have to be ready.
How important is smiling when you're out there doing your routine?
Presentation in my group is very, very, that's part of who you are. You must continue to smile. Okay. You know, stage presence is very, very important. Mm-hmm. I know when I judge a lot of amateur shows, you get some of these girls with a beautiful body, beautiful shape, but they on stage, they won't smile. And I'm like, okay, you know, smile. Mm-hmm. That's very important. If you're looking on stage like you're like a mad look, you won't, you know, I know some of it might be nervous, but you got to fake it. You got to fake it because it's important, especially by, you know, the women. You up there, you know, men, sometimes, you know, like if I'm at a show and I'm just a spectator and I see somebody and I know as a judge, okay, this will really help if he or she will smile when they're doing their poses. It helps. So I'll say, smile, you know, I'll just holler out, smile. But when I'm judging, I don't do all that. But, you know, if I'm a spectator and I see someone, I'm like, this girl or boy, they look good and they're not smiling. And then there's somebody that don't have a good body, their body it's not just as good, but they're posing like there's no tomorrow. Yeah. And that could be the difference of taking first, second sometimes. You know, your presentation is very important.
Wow. Okay. That's great. That's great. Thank you for that. I've heard that there are some women who had to learn how to walk in heels. Has that been the case? Like some women have to learn how to walk in heels? Yes, and yes. Very, very much so. I guess it comes to me easily because, you know, before this division, I've done a lot of over 20 years behind the scenes and behind the camera in heels. Okay. So that heels have never been my problem. Okay. You know? So because outside of sneakers, I'm in heels all the time. Okay. You know, I'm not one of those bodybuilders that love wearing workout clothes everywhere. No. I walk around. When I'm out in public, I usually have my heels on. Okay. Even going to breakfast, I'm fixing up wearing my heels. For real, no flats?
No flats, no.
Okay. All right.
You might catch me in shorts. You'll catch me in shorts and heels, okay? That's how it is, you know? Or wintertime, long pants and heels. That's just how it is with me. Okay. But yeah, you that's very, very important that women, if they're going to be in bikini wellness and fitness, they must learn how to walk in those heels. Okay. Yeah, it's very important.
Yeah, because I've actually seen women working out in heels. Like it's certain Instagram videos.
Real, you know, that one, I have not seen that. Mm-hmm. Women working out in heels. And the reason why, because it works on their butt and their calves. Okay. That's the reason. If they're working out in heels, they're trying to develop their glutes and they're trying to develop their calves. Oh, okay. That's what that's about. That's why them heels, yes. Okay. Most of the time, if they're working out, that's glutes and the calves. Okay. That's what it's working on.
That's what it's working. Okay. All right. Cool. So tell me, Miss Floyd, how can people begin to follow you? Because I know people may want to reach out to you for training or even information, coaching. Do you do posing seminars?
Posing seminars, no. I usually just send people to a posing class by this place is called House of Pain. Mm-hmm. Even me, I go up there to him. They're in Lilburn, Georgia. Okay. Now, if they're getting ready for a show, if I'm training somebody for a show, they can do their posing in the studio. Yes, I'm going to work with you. Mm-hmm. Okay. Some people maybe if they want one-on-one training and getting ready for a show, I'll work with them in the studio. But to get that posing perfected, I send them up to House of Pain because he has an actual stage in that gym. Same stage that we use when we compete. Yeah. and he runs it as a group classes where they have competitors like we are on stage. And that's why, another reason why I send people to him, so that they can practice with other competitors as if they are on stage. But most of the time, if they need it, yes, I am happy if they do one-on-one and I'm training you for a show, then I will arrange for them to come to the studio where I train my clients and they can do the posing classes there. But I don't just have a show, a class at the studio just for posing. No, I do not.
Okay.
Just the one-on-one training.
Just the one-on-one. Okay. All right. So
that is correct.
So if people wanted to reach out to you, can they reach out to you on
okay.
Instagram?
Yes, Instagram is IFBB Floyd. And on Facebook, it's just Cassandra Floyd. And on Twitter, it's at Miss Cassie, CASSMS, and then CASSI. That's my Twitter account. That's how they can reach me. Instant messages, of course, they can reach me on Facebook through instant messages, but that's how they can reach me. And one thing is, I just don't give my phone number out. Not unless I get serious people, and I don't train. I do train people virtually, okay, but serious inquired only. And that is training, not coming to me for dates. And, men in particular, they want to come. I have some women who are also have interest in me, and it's not really about training. They just want to, come and get my time. But no, if you're serious, I will do virtual. Otherwise, I prefer people come to me at the studio. That's the only way, because I don't like doing virtual. I want you hands-on in front of me. Okay. That's 99.9% of my clients. They come to me. I don't like the virtual, unless I get somebody to get serious inquiry. Like right now, one of my clients, she had to go back home to Africa. So I do virtual training with her. I have a pilot who's one of my clients. Her schedule is all over the place. Same thing. When she's traveling, she'll go down. She's at her hotel. I'll do virtual with her. Okay. Something like that. But usually everybody else, I would rather for them to come to me. And the name of the place I train is called New Body, Nubody, newbodytraining.com. It's in Atlanta. It's on the border of Cobb and Sandy Springs, Atlanta and Sandy Springs. So that's where we're located, right off of Powers Ferry Road. But this place is called newbodytraining.com. That's, nubody.com.
Wow.
Newbodytraining.com. Yes, that's the website where they can reach me.
Okay. So how are you as a coach? Are you tough? Or are you going to,
I am very.
Okay.
I am very, very tough. Yes. They call me the sergeant. That's what the class called me, the sergeant. Okay. I just turn it on. I'm a somewhat of a perfectionist. And, I want it just as bad as they do. Yeah. So, and I'm going to train you that way. Mm-hmm. And I will tell you, for many years, that has been how I train people. But when I notice a client that don't want it as bad as I do, I pull back. But most of the time, they get on board and they come with me. They may call me all kinds of names. I said, you can call me all kinds of names, but we're going to get it done today. Yeah. That's just my attitude. I don't, I said, but you're going to thank me later when you get in that mirror and start doing quarter turns, especially my women. Yeah. You might be getting busted up now, but as soon as you get in your mirror, you go home. And that's like this morning, one of my clients who wants to do a wellness, she's like 38, 39 years old. She's a mother of 3. Mm-hmm. And she's training. She goes, Cass, I looked in the mirror and my husband said, thank you. He noticed my butt is being lifted. She's a Caucasian woman. And he said, thank you. So the but yeah, they're seeing changes. And I love that. That's my motivation.
Okay.
That lets me know my work is paying off, really.
Yeah, that's definitely a good thing, because the one thing that I've seen with coaches, not only is it the physical, but also they come to you with, other problems outside of the gym.
You have to be a psychiatrist. Sometimes you're an actress. you have so many roles that you have to play by being a trainer. And then sometimes they're having a bad day and they just need a listening ear.
Yeah.
So I'm going to work you through your workout and I'm listening to what you got to say, giving you advice. Sometimes I learn from them as well, relationships and all that. So we learn from each other, but you really have several hats as a trainer. It's not just a coach to train you for weight training, but you have to be there as a mentor, to your clients as well. Mm-hmm. Even when they're having bad days, they may send me a text, needing encouragement. And I try to do that all the time, regardless good or bad days. Yeah. I give them, and it's very affirmation, encouragement, it's feedback. It's so, so important. It really is. It's very important that you give that to your client.
Yeah, definitely. So let me ask you this. I know we didn't talk about this, but how do you navigate somebody who's going through a breakup? Because sometimes the mind's not there. If they're going through a breakup or a divorce. I've
had several women and men going through that, And my thing is, with women, I say you can do two things. You can sit back and feel sorry for yourself, eat and gain weight and be miserable, or you can continue to put that body right for the next person, on to the next. It's not working out? Bye. Same thing with men. The best thing I think that you can do when you have a breakup is make yourself better. Mm-hmm. To me, that's and I tell my clients the same way. You make yourself better. Don't go regress.
Okay. Because
you make that person like, okay, how you like me now? Look at me. Mm-hmm. If you sit there and gain weight, and and a lot of women do, men too, because they need that comfort food. They're feeling sorry for themselves. Yeah. I just don't, me personally, I try to encourage them. Let's get right. Get your body right. Mm-hmm. That's the best revenge. Mm-hmm. Keeping your health. And it works for, to me, it's a twofold thing. Mentally, physically, it's helping. That's when you train and get yourself better. Yeah. And that's what I tell men and women. Stay in the gym. Use that instead of, running for dates or whatever. You need that downtime to yourself. Use it in the gym. Go to the gym. Yeah. Let's work out. And believe it or not, mentally and physically, it helps you. Mm-hmm. It helps you.
Yeah, what if you run into a client like, Cassie, I just want to drink this bottle of wine.
Okay. You know what I tell them? If you want to drink the wine, look here. Most people, I'm not going to tell you, if it is an adult, most of them, 40, 50, if they ain't training for a show, I'm going to let them drink their wine. But I tell them to minimize it. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah. I am not going to tell a client to go cold turkey. Now, if they're doing a show, that's different. You cut all your alcohol out, okay? My regular clients, I said, look here. Through the weekdays, what you need to do, if you're a person that got to polish off a bottle, I have some women and men, especially my women, that will probably polish off a bottle of wine a night. Mm-hmm. And to get them to start losing, I got to minimize that alcohol. Mm-hmm. Some of them use their calories in drinking. Instead of eating food, they drink. Okay? Mm-hmm. So I get them, I said, look, we're going to minimize this alcohol 5 days a week. Okay? Yeah. On the weekend, have your glass 1 to 2. Okay? And leave it alone. Because what's going to happen, the more you lessen of drinking alcohol, you are not going to want it.
Exactly.
You're not going to want it. Mm-hmm. Okay? So I just tell them to minimize it. Okay. Minimize your alcohol. Okay? And one thing is, a lot of my clients also, they don't have restaurant-sized wine glasses in their house. They got these huge tulips. Yeah. Tulip-sized wine, and that's everybody mostly, So think about it. You can go through a bottle to 2 bottles of wine, and there goes your calories. Mm-hmm. You're taking in your alcohol alone close to 1,000 calories. That's not including your food.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? So if you need it, you know what I tell them to do? If you got to have alcohol, why don't you switch over to gin and tonic, tequila, and carbonated water, flavored water. Mm-hmm. instead of making these, go with something with water and the vodka. I try to switch it up. But the wine is the worst thing, I'm going to tell you, especially to keep drinking and drinking, because you can keep drinking vodka and gin and tonic, but you're going to get a buzz real quickly and you're going to stop, right? At some point, you're going to stop when you think about it, okay? But wine, you got to take several glasses to get a buzz.
Exactly.
When you think about it. So I tell them, look, go to the vodka, gin, tequila, have water with it, or gin and tonic, drink the water. And with that, you're only going to drink 1 or 2 glasses anyway. And you get a buzz and leave it alone. So I just tell them minimize it. Minimize your alcohol.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. So let me ask you this. I'm going to get right in with the question. What's one thing that you probably know now that you wish you could have known when you first started?
I would have to say, health-wise, back then, in the beginning, as far as, because you're young, you don't know, you don't take care of your health as you should, but when I started getting into my late 30s and 40s, I became more conscious of taking care of my body. Like when you mentioned in the beginning, all the acupunctures, doing the preventive maintenance. When I was younger in my 20s, because I was very healthy, 20 to 30 years old, I didn't even think about doing no preventive maintenance. But as my body was changing, getting older, I began to put all of that in there to preventive maintenance. And, not saying it was bad back then, because I still think I did okay. But now that I'm older, that's something I don't miss. I don't miss it. Okay. Meaning I'm going to schedule that appointment to get this and that done.
Okay.
That's what I usually do. It's just taking care of my health better.
Okay.
Back then I didn't, but now, since in my late 30s and 40s and 50s that I'm in now, I do it like it's like part of my regimen as far as my maintenance on my body.
Okay. I like that. Let me give you some applause. So can you leave us with some words of wisdom, Miss Cassie?
My words of wisdom is it's never too late to start taking care of you. Don't think because you are overweight and I'm a lost in your age, I'm a lost cause. Please don't think that way, because I have several people that I know they're in their 60s, 70s, and early 80s that are still taking care of themselves. We have a client right now. He's like 75 years old, wow. And if you saw him, he looks like he's in his late 50s.
Wow.
Okay, so it's never too late. Ever since he started coming to us, this man for the last 8 years, he has kept himself in shape. So it's never. Please don't think that you are lost cause. Anytime to start, you can start anytime. It's just a matter of consistency. Yeah. Consistency and discipline, I will say.
Okay.
So don't think because of age, you are lost cause. Please don't. Get in the gym, work out, and just stay on a plan. If you only have 2 to 3 days, that's all you have. Make it consistent, 2 to 3 days.
Okay, I like that. Let me give you some applause. So, Miss Cassie, how can we follow you again?
Follow me on Instagram, IFBB Floyd. Twitter is at Miss Cassie, MSCASSI. And then Facebook is Cassandra Floyd. That's how you can reach me.
Okay. Miss Floyd, I got to ask, are you doing any TikTok videos?
I have not. Can you believe I'm old school? Everyone's telling me between the OnlyFans pages and TikTok, I'm like, I am not, and I should, but, I'm just old school. That's coming, it's just that I got so much going on. Mm-hmm. And I know for the younger generation, they're the TikTok, that's big. And I have an account, but do I use it? No. Okay. I rarely use it. Someone would send me something like, go on TikTok and look at this, look at that. and I will, look at it on TikTok. But do I go on TikTok? No, I do not.
Okay.
I have my younger nieces and nephews who live on TikTok. Okay. So no, I don't have a TikTok. I have, but I don't use it. But in the future, yes, that is something I plan to do.
Okay.
Do the TikTok.
Can we see you on YouTube? You got any YouTube videos?
YouTube, if they go, they can search by my name, Cassandra Floyd, and then videos will come up. I do have a YouTube under Cassandra Floyd. That is correct. Yes, they will. Most of them from shows that I've done that are loaded. So yes, if they Google, go to YouTube and type in Cassandra Floyd, I do have videos up.
Okay. All right. Cool. Miss Floyd, I just want to say thank you for coming on. We definitely have to do this again.
It's a pleasure, and my next competition is July 16th.
Okay.
So the end of the summer or fall, let's check in, and I'll let you know what's going on. At that time, I hope to be a little bit heavier with some food because all my shows, it'll be my off season.
Okay. What's that like?
Now it's contest time right now. So I'm looking a little sunk in, but it's all good.
Okay. So what are you looking forward to eating when you're off season?
I usually go for a good burger or pizza.
Okay.
I finally or go eat some pasta. I love Italian food.
Okay.
So most these are stuff burgers and pizza, the pizza and the pasta, I don't eat. Okay.
Wow.
And I use that after a show as a treat.
Okay.
So those two will be top of my list. The pizza and the pasta. A good Italian restaurant. That's the plan for me.
Okay.
That's my plan. Because I only eat pasta maybe twice a year. So, but that'll be a treat for me.
Okay. All right. Cool. Pray to God you be able to have all of that. So I gotta ask you. I'm messing with you. What about the holidays like Thanksgiving, Christmas?
That is one day. Holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, I am not on the diet. I make sure, because I'm helping usually to fix Thanksgiving food.
Yeah.
And I want all fat. Don't spare me. Do not be asking me if I'm eating clean. No, I am not. I want fat. I want my dessert.
Yes.
So, no, I live for the Thanksgiving particularly. Mm-hmm. Christmas dinner is great too. But no, I try to not do shows around the holidays.
Okay.
Yeah, because I want my food.
Okay.
I do. I want some good eating at Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Okay. All right. Hey, that's good. That's definitely good. But hey, Miss Floyd, I want to say thank you for coming on. And I so look forward to looking at all your IG and also everything that you're doing right now. Because I'm serious. You're killing it.
Well, thank you for reaching out to me, and I appreciate you as well, and, for giving me a shout out. I know it took a little time, to get together, but I just want to tell you also, thank you. Thank you for reaching out to me.
No problem.
Okay?
No problem. You get all of that. Let me give you some thunder. Have yourself a blessed day, and I just wish you the best, and God be with you. Be safe.
Thank you so much. Enjoy.
All right. You take care.
All right.
Thank you. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. That was Miss Cassandra Floyd. I'm telling you, man. She is killing the game. Follow her on Instagram. Follow her on Facebook and YouTube. Because the one thing I'm going to tell you, man, when it comes to this whole fitness thing, that is the fountain of youth. Because I'm telling you, the stuff that I did with Miss Tiller today, I'm telling you, you got to see it to believe it. Seriously. So go and look and see for yourself. Fitness is the fountain of youth. It can redeem the time. It can redeem the years. And it can definitely fight off sickness and disease. But the one thing that she did say today is make sure that your insides are as good as your outside. And that's the one thing that I want to leave you with today.
Walk speaking the truth that makes you free every day. Follow Brother Leon on all social media outlets